Well, this is something that I would really ignore to talk about, but I think after his arrest, I think it was over the weekend, and today he has been really paraded in court. That is Manson Greenwood, and obviously the magistrate has really remanded him until the 21st of November. And obviously, let's wait and see what is going to happen next. And we're here to let you know about Manson Greenwood, one of the generational talents at Manchester United that really hoped a lot out of him. But obviously, you know that we are human, and that humanity call doesn't really go ahead and really hide from us. He's accused by his girlfriend Robinson that he forced him to have sex, and obviously he beat him up or pulped him up. Welcome to this channel, United Matters channel it is. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go in the right bottom corner and smash the subscription button. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now today, it has been a day that has been really around Manson Greenwood fronted in court, and obviously they've really read the summons that the court really believes that he's responsible for, and we are waiting to see what Manson and his lawyers are really going to go in and really put in their defense to the court at any time from now. But today is really a very good day. That yesterday we drew against Newcastle. We missed out on close to 3 or 4 cities in that game of football, whereby the referee was really abysmal. I believe that VAR really had a very bad day yesterday as far as the game of football was concerned. At the game of Manchester United, Ronaldo scored that goal, and it was really a valid one because the defender really started that ball to the goalkeeper of Newcastle, and the goalkeeper really went ahead to really take a touch, and Ronaldo came out and saw that ball hit back of the net, but the referee said no, that isn't the case. So VAR really did a very bad job yesterday. But obviously United is trading hard to see to either tomorrow they are really going to play a side which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. But let's go to Manson Greenwood. Manson Greenwood is really one of those lads that really looked great under the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I believe that would have benefited a lot into the era of Erik ten Hag, because he would have really improved him and really made him one of those players that would have really gone ahead. But obviously, I think it's now time. I think it's now time, and I believe this case won't take long. I believe that I think by the start of 2023, we would have known the ruling of the court. That's it. And obviously today we've been told by Laurie Whitwell, correspondent of Manchester United and Athletic, that District Judge Mark Hadfield rules that Manson Greenwood will remain remanded in custody until case moves to Manchester Minshull Street Crown Court on November 21st. Greenwood was laid out of court by officers, so he's remanded. And remember, he was arrested I think on Friday all Saturday. But remember, his arrest came after news came out that him and the girlfriend are really back in terms, and obviously they followed one another onto Instagram, and I think they mate, and I think that's the reason as to why he was really arrested, because he violated the bail. That's it. Because when they tell you that you are bailed, there are certain things you shouldn't be doing, or they put some things that you shouldn't be doing, and I think one of those was not to meet the girlfriend, because the girlfriend might have really accused him of really being a bully and a pal part of her life. So I believe that's one of the reasons as to why he was arrested. That is Manson Greenwood, and obviously he is remanded. Now, I believe that there is something positivity coming out of this, because if the girlfriend is back with Manson Greenwood, I know she will go out there and really say things that maybe the court will say that, all right, if the accuser is really not accusing Manson negatively, then what's the role of us to really go ahead and really do this or really do this? Because I believe there have been talks between the family of Manson and the family of the girlfriend, because the girlfriend loves Manson Greenwood. They've been loving and dating in school, and their father of Robinson came out and really told us after Manson really was really arrested way back in January this year, and obviously there are a lot of positives coming out of this case. But talking about Manson Greenwood, I believe it should be so much disheartening, because we are missing him at Manchester United, and I believe that season where Ragnick was here, if at all Greenwood was here, it would have been a different case altogether. But obviously, he really did himself a disjustice or a disservice, and he found himself in there. I'm not saying that he's guilty, but according to what you are reading the news, the reason as to why he's on bail and United no longer really use him as their player, but they are paying him weekly. And obviously, if at all he's found innocent, he's going to return at Manchester United and really play for a side which goes by the names of Manchester United. And Erik ten Hag will welcome him with wide arms. When you look at that van, it's the van that really brought him on the court, and he was really brought inside the van. And the way they protected him, I wish even Benjamin Mendy was protected like this, because no one really put an eye on Manson. Whenever much was brought in that van, no one has a photo of Manson brought in court as a culprit. But for Benjamin Mendy, the way they really brought him, it really looked humiliating. And I believe that this is something that should be really changed, because these are football superstars, and everyone does something wrong. And obviously, when something does wrong, it should be called for equal treatment. But I believe this time around, Manson was so much protected, and those photos were not really allowed to leak. And obviously, when you see the photos on internet, they are just showing us the sketches of him in court. That's it. But it's not that real photo that you'll go on and really look at in the very many days. Even Ryan Giggs, you get. Ryan Giggs was brought to court and his videos were shown. So I believe, let's wait and see where this is going to let us know, where this is going to let us go about Manson Greenwood. But talking about him and Manchester United, I believe if at all goes in his favor, he returned at Manchester United, and I believe this will really create competition between him and Anthony, and obviously leading that center forward role. Because to me, I believe that there is a lot in Manson as a number 9 than him playing as a right attacking midfielder. I believe him playing as a right wide forward really limits him into his capabilities of really going ahead to score those goals. I believe he's one of those players that is really great and talented, and as far as scoring those goals are concerned, this guy Manson is one of a kind, and I believe he has a lot to his game. And if this case is done before January, obviously Manson coming out innocent will be like a new signing to Erik ten Hag, because this guy would have been one of those leading the line right now if I told he was there. In the game of Newcastle, would have led the line. I believe Ronaldo would have been on bench, wouldn't have been worried about Anton Martial, because Manson Greenwood is one of the prolific number 9s I've seen in world football, especially in that young talent. And I believe that he can even go ahead and really take on a man who goes by names of Haaland, because for him, he has a lot of skill to his game than Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland is just a direct guy, strength, good finisher, he makes good runs. But this guy has a good touch on him. He can sit down defenders, he can lead a counter, he can create, he can really drift left, right and center and really be included into play, and he can play with his back to goal. Otherwise, he's a finished article. That's what I can tell you as far as scoring goals is concerned. And when you look at how Erik ten Hag turned Sebastian Haller from West Ham, who had really flopped, into a man who scored 12 goals into the Champions League last season, and overall scored close to 38 goals in the season, plus those in the Eredivisie and KNBC Cup, it shows you that Manson will benefit a lot from Erik ten Hag. But all that depends on Manson coming out not guilty. That's it. We just want to see Manson back and get back to his career. But let's wait and see what the court is going to come out and really decide. But guys, tell me what you think about Manson Greenwood, and obviously what you think is all about this case. Do you think he's really going to be freed because he was arrested after really violating bail? But I believe that there is a lot of calculations going down into this case, as Manson Greenwood is really one of those players that everyone will miss. But if at all he's found guilty, he has to go on and really serve his punishment. But if at all he's found innocent, we will welcome him back at Manchester United as one of those heroes, all young blood players that we have been missing for close to a year. So that is the sketch of Manson Greenwood in court, and they say that court artist sketch of Manson Greenwood appearing in Manchester Magistrates Court. That is Manson Greenwood appearing in court, and obviously let's wait and see what's going to happen on the 21st of November when he returns to court, and obviously we will be here waiting to see what is going to happen, meaning that he will return one day after the World Cup has started, and it will be one of those things that we'll be here talking about how he has missed out on the World Cup, because I believe if at all he has been playing for Manchester United, there is no way he would have really missed out on playing in Qatar, because he's really one of those that is really doing great. If Ivan Toney is being talked about that is going to the World Cup, Green would have been a revelation and something else. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, tell me you're watching in from, and obviously let me know what you think about Manson Greenwood remanded until 21st of November. But to me, I smell some bit of positivity that he might return at Old Trafford and carry it on to join his other players. And obviously after this is resolved with their girlfriend, because it looks like him and the girlfriend are back at par, and it looks like everything needs to go on as planned. And I believe that the lawyers told him to go and violate this such that something really happens. And I know in the code of conduct something is happening, and maybe we might see Manson return. I'm out.